So tell us what is going on. And
Yeah,
now,
indeed.
we hear 27 lawmakers have defected to the APC. So let's get your initial reaction to this when you heard the news.
First of all, I want to say that I'm going to make a lot of references um, that has to do with the Constitution and past incidences, and I hope that that will allow me to actually make those references from my notes. The second thing is, I truly wish that my River State brother, Ngelale, that works directly with the president on media matters, is actually watching. And I think he should, because this is his state. Because the president needs to be aware, first class, first hand, of what is going on in River State and needs to know the consequences of what is going on in River State and what it is likely to lead to, knowing fully well the sort of state that River State is. River State is very critical, it's very vital, either in the economy of Nigeria because of the amount of deposit of oil and gas in the River State of the 23 local government areas. The president needs to take into consideration that one, um, River State and the people of River State are the structure of River State. So any political party, we the people are the structure. We are not slaves either to a political party or parties or to a politician or a group of politicians unless we so desire, unless we have so chosen. And I categorically say to you today in your studio that the people of River State, all the people of River State, are not slaves of politicians. Neither are we slaves of political parties. A lot of Rivers people have died since 1999 for the sake of politics, political parties, elections, especially in my own ethnic nationality. Now, it is rather unfortunate that
Your own
this
ethnic nationality,
particular,
which is?
which is Ijaw ethnic nationality,
Okay.
amongst the other nationalities in River State, that it is very important to also note that what is happening in River State today, since Wike-Fubara took over as governor, irrespective of how or whom he came to be the governor of River State, there is also the issue of how did the president of Nigeria today, how exactly did he become the president of Nigeria? And the votes that were accorded to him, how really did he get those votes, especially in River State? A lot of people, people like Marshall Harry, people like A.K. Digibo, so many great sons and daughters of River State have died because of politics. As a daughter of River State, and having spoken to a lot of persons since yesterday and have not slept throughout the night, I'm saying to you that Rivers people believe that these issues between politicians and the powers they believe that they are wielding and owning is the power of the people, and they can no longer continue to use these powers to destabilize the state. What is happening in River State right now with the defection of either 26 or 27, as I'm hearing this morning, it's not 26, 27, it's 26. Uh, that's not here or there. With this defection, according to the Constitution, in the Constitution of Nigeria, once you leave a party and cross over to another party, you have lost that seat because you have left the party on which platform you were elected. These people claim to have been elected on the party of the PDP. And by massively moving into APC, the first question to be asked is this. The former governor, the now minister of the federal capital, is he one, a member of PDP, or is he a member of APC? Now, when I heard my friend Oha of Emoha, the chairman of the traditional rulers, a couple of days ago, when I heard him speak and categorically demanding and saying that Wike-Fubara should be allowed to do the job he was elected for, I suspected that there is something about to take place. And so I am confident. I could be proven wrong, but that does not take my confidence away because this is my assumption. I am confident that somehow there was knowledge of this defection that was about to take place and that eventually did take place yesterday. I do agree with the People Democratic Party that the INEC should immediately conduct another election of the vacated seats. Look, moving over with a tiny piece of cloth or a broom that represents the colors or the symbol of APC does not make those members representatives of I, Ann Kilbriggs, and so many other people from which constituencies these people have left their jobs, have left their responsibility, and have moved over to APC. I want to say to the president of Nigeria, I want to say to the world that, again, I repeat, Rivers State is a very volatile state, and that Rivers State and the people of Rivers State are not owned by one man or a group of people who claim to be in support of what is going on in Rivers State today. Wike-Fubara, at the beginning of this catastrophe, when he was pelted with water cannon and tear gas, had said categorically, what did I do to deserve or require removal from office? Now that question is unanswered. The president has waded in right from the beginning, I am told. The president, it is his responsibility to wade in into what is happening in Rivers State. Because I do assure you that right now, the House of Assembly and forever belongs to the people of Rivers State. It doesn't belong to PDP. It does not belong to APC. The physical building where the people are represented, and therefore the people have a right to stop anybody who is no longer representing them to have access to the House of Assembly.
All right, Ankyo, let me ask you to hold on just a bit, because you've spoken a lot about so many things regarding the developments of Monday. Now, first, I'd like to know: are you a member of the People's Democratic Party? Because you've also mentioned the fact that the people of Rivers State are not slaves to any political party or any political actor. Vis-a-vis the fact that you also mentioned that the defection means that the people who defected are no longer representing the people who voted for them. So where exactly do you stand in all of this?
Ann Kilbriggs is a civil rights defender and crusader. That's who I am. that does not take away my right to vote and to choose whom I'm going to vote for. That does not take away my right to belong if I choose, or not to belong if I choose, to a political party. So for me, whether I belong to a political party or I do not belong to a political party is not an issue in anything political to do with the people of Rivers State, of which I am one, and the state, and the progress of the state, and the peace of the state as a Rivers State daughter. What we're talking about here is not who belongs to what party, but the people who are representing the people of Rivers State. And by the action that have been taken by the either 26 or 27 former members of PDP by moving to APC, have made themselves, according to law and according to what has happened in the past in Ondo State with Mr. Ifade Adegunde representing Akure North and Akure South Federal Constituency. In his case, the judge also affirmed that when a candidate has moved in that manner, that candidate more or less, not more or less, that candidate has lost their seat.
All right.
The same thing applied to when Amechi's case came up, of which Wike is a well-known player in that case. And the referral is that it is a political party that campaigns. It is a political party that wins election, not the people who are standing on that political party.
All right,
and
may
I quickly add this, may I quickly add this, that I am horrified that the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, that enjoyed the, if not 80, 90% of the people support of Rivers State, particularly the people of my own ethnic nationality, that can put himself in this position for the sake of personal interest of politics, to want to throw his own state into the chaos that he knows and obviously is prepared for by every analysis that you have done this morning. But not everybody can be killed in Rivers State, and not everybody is going to agree with the crisis that is about to happen.
Okay,
And I repeat, this is not about Ikwere people or Ijaw people. This is about
I think
people.
the section of the Constitution you referred to when you were talking about the case in Ondo State, I think you're talking about Section 68, subsection 1G of the Nigerian Constitution as amended, which makes party defections grounds for removal of members of the National Assembly. But that section only talks about the National Assembly. It doesn't really, it's a bit quiet on other elective positions. So do you think this will apply?
Let us allow the courts to decide that, because without being told, I know, and I want to believe that you know without being told, that, I mean, nobody in Rivers State is going to sit down quietly and just allow what's about to unfold. So it stands to reason that people will go to court. It also stands to reason that the chances are, before this action was taken, because it was premeditated, before this action was taken, some fingers and hands and legs must have reached out to the judiciary. And this is where I am afraid the judiciary has held itself up and open. And I made this point at the beginning of, towards the end of last week, when I delivered a keynote address to the gathering of Port Harcourt Law Week. I gave the keynote speech, and it was about law and democracy. And the point I made then, and the point I am making here now, is that the judiciary, being an independent and a third arm of a government, is an independent arm. But in Nigeria today, in the past 10 years, including this past election, the judiciary has left itself open for I, Ann Kilbrate, and many other free-thinking Nigerians to decide for themselves that the judiciary, not only is the judiciary failing on its role as the defender, if you like, and the last hope of the common man, and when it comes to issues of law, especially things to do with election, the law, the judiciary, has positioned itself to be seen by people like me as not only failing us, but actually it has joined both the legislative arm and the executive arm to cheat Nigerians at every opportunity that the judiciary has. It has cheated Nigerians. INEC is not excluded
All right,
from this.
thank you.
We are where we are today because INEC vehemently looked in to the faces of Nigerians and told us that black was white and white was black.
All right,
And
thank you.
Rivers State
Let me
is
come in
a
here.
very
Thank you.
good example of that.
Okay, let me come in here. Granted, the position of the Constitution you talked about earlier, that, you know, any member who is elected automatically loses or vacates his seat if he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the lifespan of that particular period. But then that law also has, should I say, a loophole which many of the DCAMPs are lashing on while they are taking their decision. And it says a DCAMP legislator would escape the consequences in this issue if his membership of another political party is as a result of division in sponsoring of the party or merger of the sponsoring political party and all of that. And if you listen to the lawmakers who have defected, they actually cited division in the People's Democratic Party as reason for which they have defected. And that's one reason. And the next reason they cited is that they are being starved of fund by the governor. So I would like you to also react to these two issues.
Number one, it's ironic, almost hilarious, if this issue is not a very dangerous issue. We could laugh it off. The people who are talking about division, if there is a division, are the same people that created this division. What are they talking about? They created, if there is a division. To the people of Rivers State, there is no division. Let me tell you why I say so. We are told that it is the former governor that brought Wike-Fubara to become the governor of Rivers State. The same governor is talking about Wike-Fubara being an ingrate. Let us step back a little bit. This very governor, the past governor rather, became the governor of Rivers State with the total, full, absolute support above any other ethnic nationality or personalities in Rivers State in favor of the former governor Nyesom Wike. These people are Goodluck Jonathan, the then president, and his wife, Dame Patience Goodluck Jonathan, who was then the first lady, who incidentally is a daughter of Rivers State, who incidentally is an Ijo daughter from the Okrika clan. So to now say that all of a sudden, when you are, and let me add this, I don't believe in godfatherism, and I think that is the problem of politics in Nigeria, unless and until we remove this nonsense of godfatherism, excuse my language, we will get nowhere politically. Because there is a tape going around where Governor Nyesom, former Minister Wike, had alluded at the beginning of his tenure when Ambode was having issues with now President Tinubu, against President Tinubu and in support of Ambode. But now, despite that very clear statement, he is doing exactly the same thing that he was condemning. There is another tape that I think you should also have and also play if it is possible, where he has said one thing about removing a governor and is actually doing the very opposite of what he has said. We need to be clear of actually the past governor. What really is he proposing? Is it that he will say and do things as and when it suits him, and do and say things as and when it goes against the people of River State? The truth of the matter is that for me and for a lot of people I have spoken to, including key members of the PDP, there is no crisis in, if there is a crisis, let the people and the law hear the crisis, let the law interpret this crisis that these people are talking about. Now, we cannot and should not, this is not funny, we cannot and should not lose sight of the fact that what the Minister of FCT is doing is dangerous, and he knows. This is what is amazing. The Wike knows what he is doing is going to tear this state apart. He knows it. And so when I saw a clip of him in the office of the chief of staff of the president singing a support song for the president, which he's free to sing, I also knew that there was something amiss. We want to know in Rivers State today, why is Wike not amongst the people that have defected to the APC? He is very clearly, everything he's doing is against the survivor of the his so-called PDP membership party and the people and development of Rivers State. Now, if Sim is starving these so-called 27 people, let me land. I beg you, my brother. If Sim is starving them of funds, let us ask Sim and let Sim tell us why they are being starved of funds. And the story you will hear from Sim, as we all have seen and heard in the media, is that Sim himself does not have access to the funds. So let us get to the roots of who is starving whom of funds. The president, I repeat, the president needs to wade into this. If he doesn't, there will be serious regret. This is not a threat, it is a caution, it is a worry, it is a concern. And I'm not afraid to say.
All right, Anku, I'm just wondering here, because you've talked about a number of things here now. On the one part, you've said something about the judiciary having foisted certain people on Nigerians in certain positions. And now you are saying that in the case of River State, the law should be allowed to determine what should be the right state of things. Now, it seems I really am trying to understand exactly where you stand here. Is it the same judiciary that you said you and very many other Nigerians do no longer have confidence in, that should interpret the law in this situation? How do we get out of this confusion?
There is no, from my part and the position I have taken, it is so clear and so simplistic. The judiciary is the arm of the government that has the last say in justice. We, the people, have legally, constitutionally given that right and that authority to the judiciary. The fact that the judiciary, I say, and I repeat, and they do accept, some of them do accept, that they have failed, does not mean that we will no longer have judiciary in Nigeria. They should correct themselves. They have mismanaged the powers that they have. When it comes to issues of politics and politicians, you cannot sentence a man who has stolen yam to 5 years, for instance, hypothetically, to jail, and then slap a politician who has stolen money from the purse of Nigeria. And then we will let the judiciary go. No, the judiciary at certain places and points have made mistakes, willingly sometimes, under pressure most of the time. But the fact is that power has not been taken away from them. It is still with them. And that is what I mean by they must interpret the law. They must interpret the law because it's their responsibility, but they must interpret the law rightly and justly.
All right.
Justice must go to whom it belongs, not who pays the most.
All right.
Where we find ourselves of where technicalities are being used to keep people in power that did not win elections or in any other instance. And yet the same technicalities were actually put there so that the guilty will go free. And
okay,
so that the guilty will not go free.
All right, thank you. Let's look at it from this angle as well. Listening to Wike, he did say that he is not fighting against ethnic nationalities because it will seem like the job people are believing that this is targeted at them, but that what he's fighting against is the destabilization of the political structure in Rivers State by the governor. And then many are asking, is it still possible to mend fences with the governor, find out exactly what, I mean, the past governor?
I hope you can hear me.
You can hear me? Can you hear me? Anki,
yes,
can you hear
yes,
me?
now yes, I've heard. Yes,
all right.
Yes.
So Wike says that it is the destabilization of the political structure in Rivers State that is his problem. After all, he's the one that brought Fubara, who is also an Ijaw, from Ijaw nationality. So that is not about ethnic nationality. Is it also possible to, still bring this godfather and godson together? Shouldn't the Ijaw people themselves be wading into this and see how they can bring both of them together once again?
You see, I mean, when Wike says that he brought Sim and that he brought an Ijaw man, it's the same Wike a few weeks ago that said that Sim is not an Ijaw man. Wike should make up his mind, not the people of Rivers State. Now, talking about the issue of Sim, whether Ijaw people should wade in or Ijaw people should not wade in. I mean, this is not about Ijaws and Ikweres, but really and truly, sadly, it has been made an issue of Ijaw people, and Ijaw people don't run away from anything. We don't run away from anything anyway. So if people want us to make it a totally Ijaw thing, we will make it a totally Ijaw thing. But it is not. It is a total Rivers State issue, of which Ijaw people are in 9.5 local government areas. We are in 9.5 local government areas in this Rivers State.
All right,
now, going back to Wike, going back to Wike, the structure of PDP does not belong to Wike.
Okay.
It belongs to the people.
Okay,
the people
points made,
are the structure.
We must thank you very
the
much for your time.
People are the structure,
yeah,
not
we've totally
Wike.
run out of time for this particular segment, but we thank you very much for throwing, lights on some of the issues we hear about Rivers State, and we do hope, peace returns to that state. We have been looking at the, defection of 27 lawmakers from Rivers State, from the PDP to APC, and we've been speaking with Ankyo.